what I like to do is celebrate the ordinary moments in life. And I'll give you an example. I took Joni Mitchell to breakfast once in Los Angeles. We left the restaurant, we pass an antique store. She looks in the window, she sees a beautiful vase in the window that she wants to buy. Now, I mean, I know I haven't been with Joan for, over 40 years, but she probably still has her first dollar. She doesn't spend a lot of money on herself, but she did buy this vase. And so we went back to her house in Laurel Canyon where we were living, and I said, you know something? I'll light a fire. Why don't you put some flowers in that vase that you just... And all of a sudden, that incredibly ordinary moment that you and I as men have experienced 1,000 times, okay, love, you do that and I'll do this, and then tea will, dinner will happen and the kids will be fine. That's a perfect example. Because when Joni was in the garden trying to find flowers for the vase, she wasn't at her piano, which means I was. And our house was written incredibly quickly.
What an interesting concept about writing. You say you like to write about the ordinary moment.
My life is made up of ordinary moments.
Well, tell me, how does a British young man become part of a group that's so synonymous with American culture?
American rock and roll music. When I first heard Buddy Holly and the Everly Brothers and Elvis and Fats Domino and Jerry Lee Lewis, my life was over. I knew what I wanted to do. The Beatles were successful, of course, and they opened up giant, enormous doors that every single band wanted to run through. When they first had their hit record and conquered America, that's what we wanted to do.
Well, the Hollies were a tremendously successful British band. What was it like when you first played in the U.S.?
We thought that we were going to do our 45 minutes of dynamite. We got to the Paramount in Times Square in New York City in Easter of 1965 on the Soupy Sales Easter show. And the stage manager says, okay, what 2 songs are you doing? 2 songs? We came all this way to do 2 songs? Yeah, but it's six times a day. And there's 12 other people on the same act, So it was very strange. We had to let go. We thought we knew what we were doing in our English way, but when we came to America, we had to let go.
Well, why did you leave?
The music. I had heard me and David and Stephen sing. It was completely a unique sound to me. The Byrds and the Buffalo Springfield and the Hollies were very decent harmony bands. But this was something different. When David and Stephen and I put our voices and blended them together before they hit the microphone, we knew that it was something very, very unique and very different. So it's the power of that vocal blend that we got to within 40 seconds of singing with each other. 40 seconds.
Incredible is that? Quick.
Yeah. Nobody sounds like us when we're on it. Nobody in the world.
When did the drug use start? Did you start with marijuana?
Yes.
Yes. And about when did that start?
For me, mid-'68, when I first came to Laurel Canyon. And we had a dear friend, Cass Elliott, who was the singer with the Mamas and Papas. And she was the woman that changed my life completely. She was the one that introduced me to Crosby. David Crosby is one of the most unique people I know, and I know a lot of people. He's an unbelievably unique, rare musician. He's very jazz influenced. Strange chords, strange tunings, things I personally would, as a writer, would never think of.
Stephen Stills, who is he?
Stephen Stills is a leader. Stephen Stills is a tremendous, tremendous musician. A great arranger, stubborn, won't quit until he thinks it's right, which I love about him.
And what about Neil Young?
Neil Young is, as I said in my book, he's one of the strangest friends I have. Completely dedicated to the muse of music, completely a slave to good music. Neil Young dedicated to his family, dedicated to making the world a better place.
Who and what are you?
There's a part of me that is still waiting to get found out. I'm 71 years old now. I've been doing this successfully a long time. But there's a part of my soul that doesn't quite believe that I should be here. I'm this poor kid from the north of England who had the wisdom to follow his parents' advice about following his heart in my passion for music. Who am I? I want to get the job done. If we're going to commit to doing a tour or commit to doing an album or commit to singing a note, I want to get the job done the best way we can. I personally think that time and our family are all we have. When my father died at 46 and the clouds didn't stop scurrying across the sky and the birds didn't stop singing, and I realized, my God, you have to fill your life with the best you can for every second of your life.